Hi, and welcome to the series finale of EllaLEAKS, a programme celebrating the launch of the EllaLink system. I'm Lindsay Thomas, and today we bring you a story of commitment, dedication and passion, which led to the successful deployment of the world's first advanced fibre optic network directly connecting Europe and Latin America. Subsea cables are the foundation that support the internet. They are crucial to our governments, businesses, schools, hospitals, entertainment and much more. The planet's seabeds are crisscrossed in cables dating back to the 1800s. Modern-day systems such as EllaLink can support tens of terabits per second of capacity on every fibre pair, all housed within a submarine cable of diameter around 17 millimetre, resting on the seabed. Today we'll meet the EllaLink team who took the project through the business development stage onto design and then construction. We'll learn from Infinera how leading-edge technology will be used to light the network as we approach operational readiness. At every stage of the project, EllaLink has been supported by prime partners whose objectives are the same as our own. We'll be hearing from them throughout the programme, including Marguerite, Bella, Emacom, Cabo Verde Telecom, Equinix, Interaction and many more. So if you're interested to learn about the growing capacity demands between Europe and Latin America, or to understand why latency and diversity are so crucial to today's telecoms networks, then stay tuned. There'll be a live question and answer session at the end, so put your thinking caps on. But first, let's return to the early 2000s when EllaLink was just a seed of an idea. Over to you, Philippe.
Thank you, Lindsay. Hello, everybody. Thank you for attending this event. One of the most notable things about EllaLink system is that it was in fact designed, born, defined as a requirement to link the research and education networks of Europe and Latin America. It was not strictly as such a business need. Now, by directly connecting Europe and Latin America, as opposed to taking the existing two-hop path across Northern Atlantic and then from the East Coast to South America, our promise has always been to cut the latency by half and provide a direct and secure link between the two continents. Obviously, the research and education networks of Europe and Latin America would enjoy such benefit, but it also came as a tremendous advantage for many other industries, such as banking, social media, gaming sector, just to name a few. Now, if you look back, this project took about 10 years to complete, from inception to commercial service. It's a very, very, very long time. And for people in charge, it required a massive amount of faith in the project and persistence. The start of the project is dated 2011. From that moment, the project funders, Alfonso Garate and Ross Mullins, worked tirelessly during years to promote the concept of a direct route between Portugal and Brazil. They gathered the support from the European Commission, they gathered the support from the Spanish government, and at some point around 2012, EllaLink was formed. They gathered a certain number of people around them, and that team started to develop a business model as an independent, neutral, and open telecommunication carrier. Of course, as we were talking to customers and suppliers, the project definition evolved. And between 2017 and 2018, the team was able to gather significant firm commitments from anchor customers. These anchor customers are Géant and Red Clara, which form what we now call the Bella Consortium, Emacom, a telecom operator out of Madeira, Cabo Verde Telecom, and Telxius. With these commitments on hand, and a clearly defined business model, we were able to embark our financial sponsor at the beginning of 2018. The project was eventually funded during that year, and at the end of 2018, exactly on 31st December, we were able to sign and put into force the entire project documentation. 31st of December 2018 means hours before the New Year's Eve, and you need to believe me, that's not a very convenient period for signing contracts and sending money all over the world. But we did it. We did it, and soon after, the construction work started with Alcatel Submarine Networks, and we are now, in April, days away from ready for service date. This event is a celebration. It's a celebration of 10 years of hard work. And it's a celebration for its successful conclusion, the EllaLink project, a system which will soon connect directly for the first time Europe and Latin America, two continents which have long-lasting cultural and business relationship. So thank you all. Thank you, all of you who contributed over the 10 years for the success of this project. It's been a great journey. It's not the end. We have another 25 years of commercial service to complete, but that's a great achievement, and I thank you for that. Now it's time for our chairman of the board, Michael de Dieu, to stand up and take the floor. So Michael, the floor is yours.
Okay, my name is Michael de Dieu. I'm the chairman of EllaLink. I'm very excited about this investment in a unique transatlantic submarine cable that will make a big change to the data communication between Europe and Brazil. The project is supported by a very strong management team, and we'd like you to join us to be part of this adventure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael. Now, let's head over to Eric and Lewis to understand why EllaLink is so important to Bella. Over to you, gentlemen.
Hi, my name is Erik Huizer. I'm the CEO of GEAN, and GEAN is the organization that provides international connectivity through research and education throughout Europe and from Europe to the rest of the world.
Hi, my name is Luis Cadenas. I am the Chief Executive Officer of Red Clara. Red Clara is the regional research and education network of Latin America.
Thanks, Eric and Lewis. Now, Eric, can you tell us a little bit more? How will the EllaLink system support the education and research network requirements of Bella?
The EllaLink cable will support research and education both on the European and on the Latin American side by making sure that we can really transfer directly with low latency a whole lot of data. As you know, like any other profession, research and also education is becoming more and more data dependent. More and more we see that researchers want to ship data. Large research infrastructures like telescopes, etc., need to be accessed and generate a lot of data. Or, for example, CERN in Geneva generates a lot of data that needs to be used by Latin America users. And for that, we really need a high-speed connectivity, and the EllaLink cable will, under our so-called Bella project, will provide just that capacity.
Can you elaborate on the members of the Bella Consortium and also tell us, where does the funding come from?
The members of the Bella Consortium are 9 national research and education networks, plus JAN, the European Regional Research and Education Network, and Red Clara, the Latin American Regional Research and Education Network. The national networks cooperating in these initiatives are from Brazil, Ecuador, Colombia, Chile, in the Latin American side, and Germany, Portugal, Italy, France, and Spain in Europe. The total amount of the Bella project is 40 million euros, with 25 million provided by the European Union and 15 million by the Community of Latin American Academic Network, which all provide in-kind contribution through the national infrastructures, adding an approximate value of 25 million euros.
Thanks both. Can you summarize your experience with EllaLink?
We want to congratulate this important achievement of EllaLink, and it's something that we were expecting for many years. So we are very happy this year of having this contribution to the connection between both continents.
I'd like to congratulate EllaLink on implementing this connection. And I'd like to thank EllaLink and our partner Red Clara, because the cooperation between our three organizations over the last years to make this happen has been extremely good, and is extremely appreciated by us. Thank you all for making this possible.
Thank you, Eric and Luis. Now we'll head back to Philippe to discuss connectivity. Over to you, Philippe.
Thank you, Lindsay, for giving me the opportunity to talk about connectivity. In fact, connectivity is a very core element of EllaLink strategy and business model. Building submarine cable across two continents is often a great opportunity for underserved regions, islands, to connect to that system at a marginal cost. And this is, of course, as opposed to building a system on their own. We achieved that in EllaLink. We achieved that by building two branches and by putting branching units awaiting future connectivity. At day one, EllaLink will connect to Cape Verde and to Madeira, and we'll have stub BU pointed to Canaries, Morocco, Mauritania, and French Guiana. We also designed the cable to connect effectively in the future to Sao Paulo and to certain cities along on the east coast of Brazil.
Now, let's hear from our partner in Madeira. Hi, José, over to you.
Olá a todos, meu nome é José Coutrin, sou diretor executivo da EMACOM, que é uma empresa pertencente ao Governo Regional da Madeira. É uma empresa pública, detida a 100% pelo Governo. A nossa função é fundamentalmente garantir conectividade submarina e terrestre para empresas e para o Governo, para a estrutura do Governo, e não só, também servir toda a comunidade de turismo que nos visita.
José, can you tell us a little bit more about the relationship between EMACOM and EllaLink?
A relação da EMACOM com a EllaLink é mais do que uma relação. Não se trata de uma relação comercial, técnico-comercial. Podemos dizer que é uma parceria, portanto, muito mais próxima do que uma relação comercial. Desde cedo, a EllaLink, os seus responsáveis perceberam a importância que esse projeto tinha na altura e tem para a Madeira. Estamos a falar de pessoas que trabalharam em conjunto connosco intensivamente no sentido de viabilizar e de tornar real o projeto que hoje estamos quase a concluir. Portanto, estamos a preparar a entrada no mercado muito em breve, o que é uma vitória muito grande para a nossa região e para a nossa empresa. Este projeto da EllaLink desencadeou, para terem uma ideia, desencadeou a nível nacional o debate sobre a questão da conectividade das regiões insulares portuguesas, nomeadamente o arquipélago da Madeira e o arquipélago dos Açores. Fomos nós que levantamos e trouxemos para a agenda política toda esta questão. A nível da Europa e das regiões chamadas Outermost Regions of Europe, tivemos participações até há pouco tempo, sensibilizando a União Europeia para o facto de as regiões insulares dos vários países, da França, portanto, de um conjunto de países que têm territórios insulares, despertar a necessidade de entender que estas comunidades têm que ter largura de banda, capacidade e preço bastante competitivo, e fomos nós, digamos, no conjunto das ilhas da Europa, aqueles que tomamos a dianteira no sentido de tornar realidade este projeto. Portanto, nesse aspecto, a EllaLink e a Emacom marcaram o passo naquilo que agora acontece.
Thank you, José. Now let's head across to Cape Verde, where we'll hear from Joan. Welcome, Joan.
Sou João Domingos Correia, presidente do Conselho de Administração do Grupo Cabo Verde Telecom e CEO das 3 empresas do Grupo Cabo Verde Telecom, principal operadora das telecomunicações aqui em Cabo Verde.
And can you just tell us, how does EllaLink complete Cabo Verde Telecom's plans to improve telecommunications in Cabo Verde?
Devo dizer que o Grupo Cabo Verde Telecom, como uma empresa responsável e empresa, portanto, muito ligada à história das telecomunicações em Cabo Verde, foi a primeira empresa e a maior empresa do país neste momento, com responsabilidades nas telecomunicações aqui em Cabo Verde, vinha procurando uma alternativa para garantir a redundância das suas comunicações internacionais e nacionais, e que, a meio, portanto, dessa procura, nós conseguimos localizar esse projeto EllaLink. Esse projeto colocou quase que como uma luva naquilo que era o nosso desenho e o nosso desejo para a securização das comunicações do país, mas também para melhorar a capacidade de disponibilização de dados a nível do país e, ao mesmo tempo, permitir aos nossos países vizinhos aqui da África Ocidental usufruir dessa vantagem de ter também uma redundância aqui no arquipélago de Cabo Verde. Com a nossa entrada no projeto EllaLink, nós resolvemos um grande e antigo problema do país, que é a sua vulnerabilidade em termos de conectividade internacional, e, ao mesmo tempo, criamos condições para que o país venha a ter mais desenvolvimentos tecnológicos em cima dessa grande infraestrutura de telecomunicações que é o cabo internacional EllaLink.
Thanks all. Now let's look at the end-to-end network. Philippe, can you tell us, ultimately, where is EllaLink's traffic going?
EllaLink is not just a submarine cable connecting Portugal and Brazil with traffic ending at the cable landing stations. Our strategy and commercial offer at day one will provide POP-to-POP connections between data centers. By May 2021, we will provide interconnection with Madrid, Lisbon, Rio de Janeiro, and Sao Paulo. But our ultimate goal goes beyond these points. We want to promote an onward connectivity to Africa, Middle East, and beyond. This will be achieved by developing terrestrial routes to key strategic connection points, for instance, Marseille in France, which is the land of many cable coming from Asia, and by connecting remaining branches of our network. I would say also as well that EllaLink has always been striving to support initiatives taken by governments, agencies, and communities at large when it is making sense. One example of that, which I believe the team is particularly proud of, is the EllaLink GeoLab initiative. The EllaLink GeoLab initiative tried to unify scientific and telecom communities together for the greater good. EllaLink is the world's first commercial telecom system to incorporate smart cable concepts. And the EllaLink GeoLab offers a truly unique way to collect and share data through the existing networks of our colleagues and customers of Géant and FCT. Passive and non-intrusive distributed acoustic sensing, which we call DAS technology, is being used to collect the data along the cable route to Madeira. DAS can be used to detect earthquake, to measure oceanic conditions, such as temperature, and monitor mammal activities. And we do all that collecting and sharing the data as part of the GeoLab initiative to help people, researchers, understand better the future of our planet.
Merci, Philippe. Now let's take a look at how the EllaLink network was built. In late 2018, a supply contract was signed with Alcatel Submarine Networks to construct the subsea system between Portugal and Brazil. Work kicked off in early 2019 with the route development, which is when Diego Matas took the helm.
Okay, so where do we start? The installation and maintenance of a submarine cable is something very complex and is a very challenging exercise, right? So our main driver was to create a diverse, reliable, and robust network that will best serve our customers. So a number of key features need to be considered when choosing a landing location, and this should include the physical security, the location, the status of supporting infrastructure, and the assistance that you get from local authorities and governing bodies. This is very, very important. I mean, permits can take up to a year and a half, 70% of the time of the build of the cable, right? So this has to be chosen right. So Sines was selected in Portugal for its diversity with the 3 historical landing places that we have in Carcavelos, Seixal, and Sesimbra. The challenge here is that when you go to existing places that are congested, you need to cross a lot of cables with your cable. And this happens in shallow water, what brings risk to your cable. Okay, so what we have done is by choosing a new place to land our submarine system that has no other cables, what we have done is we have ensured that the crossing of other cables happens at deep water. So we can keep a continuous burial of our cable in shallow waters. That is where the cable is more exposed and is where it's more dangerous and where usually you get the fiber cuts. In Brazil, we selected Fortaleza because it's a historical landing place for submarine cables. There is plenty of cables there, and it's proven to be a safe place to land a cable. And it's also the shortest place to Europe for us. Okay, so once we land in Fortaleza, we decided to build a complete new pitch manhole and a complete new front hole, so that we avoid any potential congested areas or any potential single points of failure on that area. So in Cabo Verde and in Madeira, we selected new diverse landing places on those islands. You know, currently there are cables that land in Cabo Verde and in Madeira. So we decided to choose totally diverse landing places to provide a level of diversity and protection compared to the existing infrastructure. And we also have, together with our partners, we have built brand new landing stations, totally diverse from the existing ones.
Thanks, Diego. Now let's look a little bit more about the Brazilian end of the system. Welcome, Rafael.
Olá, eu sou o Rafael Sgrotti, Country Manager do Brasil, da empresa Telxius Cable.
Rafael, can you tell us what makes Fortaleza such a special place for submarine cable systems?
Olha, Fortaleza é uma cidade muito bem posicionada geograficamente aqui no Brasil, né, bem no norte, nordeste, ali naquela região. E ela já, desde os históricos, né, dos primeiros cabos submarinos, né, de fibra ótica, aí nos anos de 2000 já tiveram muitos landings, né, a gente chama ali na região de Fortaleza, né, especificamente na Praia do Futuro. E esse landing também se tornou com que Fortaleza, né, conforme foi foram tendo os novos cabos submarinos, acabou se tornando um grande hub de conectividade, né? Então, essa posição estratégica, também a facilidade ali de você já ter um landing, né, que nós chamamos direto, né, acabou tornando esse hub, e esse hub com essa grande concentração de cabos submarinos, né, cabos que são mais de uma geração mais antiga, né, e muitos da geração nova, que foram chegando principalmente aí depois de 2018.
Fantastic. And why is EllaLink such a perfect match for Telxius's infrastructure?
A EllaLink conseguiu fazer esse cabo, o cabo da EllaLink, né, esse cabo conectando Brasil e Europa direto, né, renovando essa conexão com uma nova geração aí de cabos submarinos, né, e fazia muito sentido para nós, uma vez que Fortaleza é um ponto estratégico, né, é um ponto que nós já tínhamos uma estação há 20 anos, já tem uma estação há muito tempo, consolidada, bem conectada também com os provedores regionais, né, e com 2 cabos submarinos da Telx, né, o SAN1 e o Brusa, né. Então, dentro dessa conexão de Fortaleza, seria uma conexão assim, fundamental e muito bem elaborada, conectar a partir daí as Américas e essa conexão direta com a Europa. Para nós era fundamental também o cabo chegando aí a Madrid, né, direto, ele passa por Portugal, mas nós optamos em ter essa conexão direta aí com Madrid, nessa parceria, né, e com isso tenho certeza que fica muito bem conectada as 2 redes, né, e praticamente numa mesma estação, né, questão de metros, né, questão de andares, mas metros, né, para a gente conectar os tantos 1000 quilômetros que se tem de cabo submarino aí conectando os continentes. Então, é a melhor otimização de infraestrutura, segurança, parceria, economia de custo, né, e também conectividade de qualquer outro parceiro, e para a própria EllaLink também ter toda a conectividade com o restante da América, né, pelos cabos da Telxius, né, seja na América Central, seja nos Estados Unidos, Miami, Virginia Beach, e mesmo todo o sudeste do Brasil, né, São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, Salvador, aí no Nordeste, que é um outro ponto que se tem a capilaridade, e óbvio que para todos aí ter a conexão na menor latência possível nessa rede nova, né, nesse caminho expresso aí, Brasil-Europa.
Thank you. Over to you.
Thanks, Rafael. Now let's look at the subsea route, which is where the real challenge sits, right? Much of the deep water parts of the system were installed in areas that had not been previously considered. And as such, our marine team paid particular attention to the route planning exercise here, right? Specific areas such as the Mid-Atlantic Trench has been carried out with engineers studying the seismic activity in order to minimize the risk of damage to the cable. Using information such as the one available in the IRIS database, we have concluded that our route is safer than some of the North Atlantic routes. And after the survey, it comes the route design and the protection selection of the cable. In order to further increase the protection of the cable in Sines, EllaLink decided to do a horizontal directional drilling, an HDD, right? This is a method that is more expensive than traditional landing with articulated pipe, but it provides a much more secure way of landing the cable. The bore pipes extend out to 12-meter water depth and are approximately 600 meters in length. Okay, thanks to these bore pipes, new cables coming into Sines will avoid the surf zone and can be installed using a much simpler landing operation compared to the traditional shore end. Okay. The marine installation program took place over a 3-month window, and 2 vessels were performing the main lay. Ile-de-Chêne was the vessel from ASN doing the installation on the European side, and in the Brett was the vessel from ASN doing the installation on the Brazilian side. The shore end landings were particularly spectacular. Actually, I was honored to witness both of them, and it's very emotional, very, very emotional. And these 2 landings happened at the end of last year, and then Madeira and Cabo Verde were installed at the beginning of this year. During the construction period, we were in discussions with our local partners, ACIP Global Parques and the Sines municipality. And the concept of Sines Tech Innovation and Data Center Hub was born. We have to say that we are very excited because I think that with our idea, we will be able to create an open access location for new submarine cables and new data centers being built in Portugal. Sines Tech is located within the industrial zone of Sines and is managed by ACIP Global Parques. But you know what? I will hand over to Felipe Costa to explain further on this.
Meu nome é Filipe Costa, sou presidente da Comissão Executiva da ACIP Global Parques, que gera a Zona Industrial e Logística de Sines. A chegada deste cabo inaugura uma nova era económica nesta costa alentejana. Uma era que doravante contará também com estações de amarrações de cabos, com centros de dados, todo o universo, todo o cluster, todo o hub de tecnologias de informação e comunicação que vão ajudar a desenvolver a região e a economia nacional. A EllaLink não só nos trouxe um cabo submarino de telecomunicações importantíssimo no contexto global, como também trouxe a possibilidade de uma parceria mais ampla em que juntos vamos continuar a desenvolver um hub de data centers e de estações de amarrações de cabos aqui em Sines. Lançámos juntos e com outros parceiros, desde logo a Câmara Municipal de Sines, o Sines Tech Innovation and Data Center Hub, que está aqui. Temos aqui excelentes condições para acolher os grandes players internacionais de telecomunicações e da economia digital.
Thank you, Philippe. I know that all the help you and your team gave to EllaLink during the construction was greatly appreciated. Also greatly appreciated was the warm welcome we received in Sinch, and for that we thank the local community and the Sinch municipality. Welcome, Nuno. Can you tell us more about how EllaLink's present is enhancing the digital transformation of Sinch?
Este é de facto um investimento de enorme importância. Este cabo submarino da EllaLink vai trazer certamente a Sines um conjunto de investimentos que era impensável há uns anos atrás. Eu diria mesmo que este investimento está ao nível dos grandes investimentos que se fizeram no Conselho nos anos 90, refinarias ou mesmo o Porto. Este é de facto um investimento com enorme potencialidade. Estamos a falar de transmissão de dados superiores a 70 terabytes por segundo, algo inimaginável há uns anos atrás, e naturalmente que Sines quer estar na primeira linha, na vanguarda da era digital, não só do país como também da Europa. Portanto, quero dar os parabéns não só à Comissão Europeia por financiar este projeto, mas sobretudo para os investidores por acreditarem que era possível trazer um investimento desta envergadura para o nosso país e sobretudo para Sines.
Thank you. The stage is yours.
EllaLink has built an entirely new open access cable landing station in Sines, the Vasco da Gama CLS, named after Vasco da Gama, that was born in the city of Sines. I have to say, we are formally the first Sines Tech customer. The Vasco da Gama station sits on a 10,000 square meter plot and is ready to accommodate other CLSs, and is currently interconnected with two diverse fiber routes linking the station to Madrid and to Lisbon, and from here to the rest of Europe, making it the perfect gateway into the digital world. We are very proud of what we have achieved here. Back to you, Lindsay.
Thanks, Diego. It was great to hear about the construction phase. Now let's move on to capacity and the important topic of network lighting. The EllaLink submarine system has been built with 4 fibre pairs on the trunk route between Portugal and Brazil. With the help of advanced coherence technology, each of these fibre pair can carry an astounding 25 terabits per second of traffic. Similarly, the system supports 30 terabits to Madeira and potentially in the future 40 terabits to Morocco. EllaLink has selected Infinera as its lighting partner, and now I'll hand you over to Jeff, who'll talk you through all the tech. Hi, Jeff.
Thanks, Lindsay. When we look at the EllaLink vision, we see that it's much more than just a transatlantic cable in so many ways. As the team says, it's an optical platform. A key aspect of EllaLink for potential customers is the direct route it takes between Southern Europe and Brazil. And as we've heard already, this routing is the reason why it offers such incredibly low latency between Europe and Latin America. As a modern submarine cable design, EllaLink is optimized for advanced coherent transmission. And this is where Infinera's ICE6 subsea transponders take the full advantage of the quality of the cable to deliver capacity up to 25 terabits per second per fiber pair and 100 terabits per second for the transatlantic section of the cable. So, not only will EllaLink slash almost 50% from the round-trip delay for traffic that would otherwise have traveled from Europe to the USA to Brazil, it can also offer many times the capacity of existing systems. High data rates per wavelength mean less equipment to support a given service load. They mean less rack space consumed and less electrical power and cooling needed in the landing station or data center. High fiber capacity means that EllaLink can squeeze more potential services revenue from the same fixed cost assets. And all that combines to mean a lower cost per bit for EllaLink customers. But it's not just about raw data rates. Another aspect of the EllaLink platform is that it can offer open optical service demarcation points from data center to data center, and not just terminating the cable in the landing station. To do that, ICE6 must deliver the additional optical reach that makes it possible to drive the optical signal over that extra distance beyond the landing station all the way to the data center and right to where EllaLink's customers need it. All optical data center to data center connection is an excellent way to reduce both CapEx and OpEx costs for very large-scale bandwidth demands, such as those needed by cloud-based providers today. And this capability is also useful because the EllaLink platform is unusually rich in terms of infrastructure, with existing branches to Madeira and Cabo Verde, and for the future branches to Morocco, Canary Islands, Mauritania, and French Guiana. High optical performance is vital in being able to close these links while maintaining the optical performance needed for the optimum economics. ICE6 delivers this performance using a set of advanced coherent processing tools that include packing as many data bits as possible into each optical symbol, and then transmitting as many of those symbols as possible every second. In fact, ICE6 can transmit almost 100 billion of these symbols every second, each carrying between 8 and 9 bits as a payload. To achieve optimum packing of the modulation symbols, we use an advanced technique called probabilistic constellation shaping, or PCS. PCS helps us to maximize the spectral efficiency on the fiber, which translates to higher data capacity for the fiber pair. And to achieve high symbol rates, we not only use the latest high-performance electronics, but we also have a total focus on the conversion between analog optical signals and digital electronic signals throughout the transponder design. The combination of high symbol rates and high spectral efficiency translates to high data rates per transponder, which leads directly to lower CapEx and OpEx. In fact, ICE6 has demonstrated in multiple terrestrial and subsea trials that it leads the industry for capacity and reach. And the secret to this success is Infinera's unique vertical integration strategy. What that means is that we control the research and development, the subsystem design, production, and component packaging in-house, which is a total capability that no other company can match. But ICE6 is only part of Infinera's submarine network solution. A hallmark of the EllaLink platform will be the security and stability offered to their customers. Once again, this starts with the cable routing, because by having direct routing between countries, EllaLink avoids third-party transit territories. Infinera's ICE6 takes security a stage further by offering line-rate AES-256 encryption to any digital services on the platform. And security in a highly versatile platform like EllaLink will also involve many other factors. Because once we move away from digital termination in the landing station, when we integrate terrestrial and submarine networks at the all-optical level, and when we allow transponders operated by different customers to share the same fiber, we need to be able to actively control optical power levels across the whole cable system. For example, one way to achieve service security is using diverse routing through terrestrial backhaul networks. But by including these terrestrial links on the optical path, we may raise the chance of a fiber break. which could trigger instability right across the submarine amplifier chain. So it's essential to be able to actively manage optical power levels over the whole optical domain, terrestrial and subsea. Infinera's intelligent power management system does exactly this. It's designed to enable spectrum sharing, maintain service stability across the whole cable spectrum, and enable optical layer protection of services, including terrestrial backhaul into the data center. In the event that some portion of the optical waves are lost, IPM will trigger the injection of dummy wavelengths that soak up the excess power in the submarine amplifier chain and maintain stability for the remaining wavelengths on the fiber. That means that as an EllaLink customer, you have the choice of taking a digital managed service at data rates from 1 gigabit Ethernet all the way up to 400 gigabit Ethernet, or you can request a shared spectrum service as transparent as having a virtual fiber pair and then deploy transponders of your choice within that spectrum. And in all cases, you can be sure of service stability and survivability in the event of threats to the network. So how does Infinera use our decade of experience in global submarine network deployments to help EllaLink achieve the vision of a highly versatile, highly secure, and low latency optical platform? First, we deliver the highest performing subsea transponders in the industry to ensure that the vast distances for multiple branches and direct data center to data center links can be closed at the highest possible data rates. Second is that we provide the physical demarcation points in the network to deliver a range of digital services and entry points for shared spectrum, including an open network approach that allows your choice of transponders. Finally, our intelligent power management system maintains operational stability even in a shared spectrum environment and including terrestrial backhaul end-to-end paths. In the past few minutes, I've tried to give a high-level overview of how EllaLink will use the Infinera submarine network solution to help build their vision of a high-capacity and highly versatile optical platform. Thank you for your attention, and back to you, Lindsay.
Fascinating stuff. Thank you, Jeff. Now, I'd like to pass the baton on to Vincent, who's going to tell us how we can put all these interesting features into the solutions that we offer our customers and partners. Vincent, over to you.
Thanks, Lindsay and Geoff, and hello, everyone. I'd like to start by looking at connectivity. What's particularly great for EllaLink is our direct and diverse connectivity between our CLS and major POPs and data center locations. For a terrestrial perspective, several backhaul routes are available to Lisbon and Madrid, which are physically diverse, so to create a secure ring between the CLS and the cities. Our objective of creating a secure low latency route is to unite two established markets into a unique ecosystem, benefiting to all the players and users. We've seen the importance of partnering in building this infrastructure previously. Now we'll give the stage to the partners that will allow all our users to benefit from this very unique and new infrastructure on both sides of the ocean. When we think about our globe geography, our perception of the continent's position is actually biased by the Mercator projection. Looking more carefully, we can realize the real proximity of Latin America with Europe. Indeed, Brazil, and therefore all the southern part of the eastern Latin American coast, is actually much closer from Europe than we think. Fortaleza is as close as Lisbon than Miami, and as close as Madrid than Ashburn. EllaLink converts this proximity into an efficient connectivity. As Philippe mentioned, EllaLink have established interconnection and managed colocation POPs within data centers in both continents. We have partners with Equinix in Lisbon, Madrid, and São Paulo, and are able to offer one-hop connection between Latin America and Europe with a round-trip delay between 60 milliseconds to 120, which is a real big game changer for a transatlantic latency perspective. By offering carrier-neutral connection from our POP location in Equinix, we are enabling our customer to directly access the rich ecosystem of networks, clouds, financial and IT service providers that Equinix hosts. Let's hear from them now.
Hi, Alex. Over to you.
Good day, everybody. My name is Alex Vaxmonsky. I'm the Director of Ecosystem Development here at Equinix. I'm the lead business developer on everything we call landing systems, which is a hybrid pursuit of submarine cables and satellite constellations. And I'm happy to be with everybody here today. I'd first like to say congratulations to Philippe, Diego, Vincent, and the rest of the EllaLink team on a truly groundbreaking project. Not many people can say they were the first to do anything, much less build a cable between two continents that never existed before. In an industry that is over 160 years old, that is a Herculean achievement. Equinix has been working with EllaLink for over 5 years on this project, but only formally declared our partnership last year. Equinix is the only multi-tenant data center operator supporting EllaLink in Portugal, Spain, and Brazil. We are truly honored to be part of this project and humbled by the trust the EllaLink team has placed in us.
Thanks, Alex. Traffic growth in Southern Europe, and especially the Iberian Peninsula, is really taking off. The area has become a strategical crossroad, interconnecting subsea cable on one side with terrestrial traffic flows between the hub of Lisbon, Madrid, Marseille, and beyond. As part of our POP-to-POP strategy, we've opened a point of presence within Interaction Madrid, which is the most carrier and content-dense location in the Iberian Peninsula. Very soon, we will extend our presence in Marseille as well. Let's hear from Mike on how we will partner in these two locations, Madrid and Marseille.
Hello, everyone. My name's Mike Collins. I'm responsible for market development at Interaction. I've been at the company for 10 years, and for the last few years, I've had the pleasure of interfacing with EllaLink as they develop their fantastic project to connect South America to Europe.
Hi, Mike. Can you tell us how subsea cables and data centers can work together towards a common goal?
So EllaLink are announcing the launch of their system connecting Latin America and Europe this quarter. But our work together has been taking place over many years in preparation for the launch of the service. That preparation has focused on ensuring that EllaLink can get access to Interaction's community of interest that is present in our data centers in both Madrid and also Marseille. Both locations for Interaction are very strategic and have a community of customers present in them that we feel are particularly interested in the services that EllaLink has to offer. There's a very symbiotic relationship between submarine cable systems and data centers. And this has been no more evident than in the wonderful partnership that we've had with EllaLink over the last few years. And we're delighted that our customers in both cities, Madrid and Marseille, are going to be able to get access to the new diverse and up-to-date capacity between Europe and Latin America.
Thanks, Mike. Certainly the symbiotic nature of the relationship between submarine cable systems and data centers is crucial to the success of our industry. Now, Vincent, can you tell us more about the significance of creating a network that was specifically designed to reduce latency? Vincent.
Yes, so it's clear that with EllaLink, we're creating with our diverse low latency routes a new form of ecosystem by connecting major DCs in Southern Europe and Brazil. But why it is so important? Reducing latency improves network performance. It is a critical factor for content provider, cloud computing companies, and financial firms. With reduction in delays of order of a few milliseconds, the profitability of a trading operation is definitely impacted. From day one, we will partner with one of the best and leading company for low latency and ultra low latency services in the financial markets. Michael, the floor is yours.
Hi, my name is Michael Urba. I'm the CEO and founder of BSO. BSO is a global telecom operator focusing at providing services supporting the mission critical applications of our customers. Unlike most of the carrier who have a significant amount of business coming from wholesale, selling to other carriers, we are mostly an enterprise carrier. And we have a very strong focus on the capital markets and the financial services. So we obviously support most of the infrastructure underlying the trading applications and high frequency trading firms, prop trading firms, stock exchanges, market data providers, or any type of mission critical things in and around trading.
Michael, can you tell us what led to BSO's partnership with EllaLink?
The partnership with EllaLink is something that we've been looking forward and nourishing since the first time we met, if I recall, over 2 years ago in Dublin at the very inception of the project. And we had a natural click in terms of DNA and work ethics and ways of engagement between the management that we got to know at the time and the way we've been working at BSO for the last 10 years. This type of partnership with infrastructure company that are extremely focused at delivering one specific project or a few specific projects that are fit for purpose for any type of business, and our knowledge that's extremely ingrained very deeply into the financial ecosystem has always been extremely fruitful. And we had similar types of partnership with other submarine cable systems that had some kind of a potential growth into that market. So we're really looking forward to expand that same type of growth with EllaLink.
Merci, Michael. The demand for digital content continues to rise, which also drives the demand for network optimization and especially to solve latency issues. Latin America is one of the fastest growing regions in the world for content and digital media sector. The importance of creating stable and secure environment and maximizing apps loading performance is key to content providers. The consumption of content requires remote access to important IP exchange peering points. Reduced latency brings to this remote IP connection a better link quality and a more efficient payload. EllaLink will provide safer, more efficient, more secure access to these internet exchange points.
I'm just going to stop you there, Vincent. I'd like to hand over to a real industry expert in this area. Ivo, the stage is yours.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ivo Ivanov. I'm the CEO of DICKIS International and the CEO of DICKIS Group responsible for strategic global development.
Ivo, can you tell us a little bit more about the importance of latency?
Digitalization happens every day and everywhere for everybody and everything. At the end, it's about the experience and satisfaction of the users. And the level of satisfaction relies on performance. Performance today, based on all of the applications we love, relies on the best infrastructure possible. And if it comes to infrastructure, it comes to the speed of light and latency. So latency is the new currency. This is what DICKIS believes in, and we work on to provide for all the networks connected to DICKIS the best latency possible. And this is what EllaLink is committed to, providing the amazing 60 minus milliseconds on the new route across the Atlantic Ocean. I wish EllaLink and our further collaboration a great success, because this is the right path to go for better services and better digital experience for everybody on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean.
Thanks, Ivo. Great to have your insight. Latency is a new currency. That is quite a powerful takeaway. Looking at other users from a gaming perspective, for instance, latency is extremely important as it plays a critical part of establishing qualitative gaming conditions. If we imagine two players aiming at the same target at the same time, the differentiator between winning and losing will be who hits first, and this is purely determined by latency. Lag, caused by a slow response, is the gamer's worst enemy. When considering the need for low latency road globally, it is important to look not only at where gaming is most popular, but also where servers are located and what language are spoken. The connection between gamers in Latin America and Iberian Peninsula is obviously strengthened by the common use of Portuguese and Spanish. The Brazilian market is vast, with Brazil currently ranked the 13th largest gaming market in the world and the 3rd largest audience for the esports market, behind China and the USA. There are nearly 75 million players in this astonishing market and growing. Marcos, you're the expert, the floor is yours.
Então, meu nome é Marcos Vasconcelos, eu sou CTO na Open Tunnel. Eu trabalho tanto com o desenvolvimento do software em si, quanto com o desenvolvimento de novas conectividades, novas conexões, conectividade em geral do sistema em si para reduzir latência no mercado de jogos, também melhoramento de conexão, performance para jogos, redução de packet loss, enfim, toda a questão de melhoria de conexão para o mercado gamer é algo que hoje eu trabalho, já estou no mercado aí há 10 anos fazendo isso. Um dos grandes motivos para a latência ser tão importante nos jogos online é que toda vez que a gente tem uma competição de jogadores, em segundo plano a gente tem uma competição de internet acontecendo. Então, os jogadores, quando teclam os comandos no jogo, toda vez que eles fazem isso ao mesmo tempo, simultaneamente, mesmo que os jogadores tenham um level igual, aquele que tem a melhor internet vai vencer. Então, sempre há um duelo de internet, além de existir um duelo de jogadores dentro desse cenário, né? A maioria hoje dos jogos que são desenvolvidos, eles já são feitos para ter essa conexão online, para ser um jogo realmente online. E todos os jogos de sucesso, os maiores jogos do mundo hoje, eles são online, tem competição jogador contra jogador, né? Então, para você ter um cenário de competitividade bom, para você conseguir competir em alto nível, você precisa ter uma baixa latência, você precisa ter uma conexão de qualidade. Caso contrário, você vai estar sempre em desvantagem. Tem jogos mais modernos, inclusive, que você, com alta latência, você não consegue nem executar alguns comandos dentro do jogo, como fazer alguns combos, se desviar de algumas magias, ou até disparar e acertar determinadas habilidades. Você precisa ter uma latência muito baixa para isso dar certo. Isso faz a diferença entre você ganhar ou perder o jogo. Nós, do Opin, a gente está muito orgulhoso de estar trabalhando nesse projeto junto com a EllaLink. É algo que para a gente é muito importante, está rompendo fronteiras com o continente europeu, é algo que a gente sempre sonhou em fazer e agora vai ser possível, né, por conta da tecnologia que a EllaLink criou. E eu estava comentando, inclusive em reuniões que eu tive com a EllaLink, que o empreendimento não é só um cabo de internet que está conectando. Tem cabo submarino, a gente tem bastante, e não é a mesma coisa. A gente tem um cabo que está conectando 2 continentes e possibilitando a inclusão de vários jogadores, o desenvolvimento de um ecossistema onde várias pessoas vão se beneficiar, e a gente vai ter uma inclusão. Eu acho que isso é muito importante. Vamos ter mais gente com essa possibilidade de jogar, inclusive do continente africano, porque essa interconexão vai possibilitar também o pessoal da África também estar jogando junto em alto nível. Vai ser algo muito legal e a gente está ansioso para ver o resultado disso e participar disso junto com vocês.
Muito obrigado, Marcos. By the way, we have a little surprise around gaming and esports this summer. Stay tuned, we're going to give you some more information in the coming months. So to conclude, given the demand for low latency network and diversity between and across Europe and Latin America, the EllaLink network that we've established with our fantastic partners will facilitate the ecosystem to support user needs between the 2 continents. And now, as we head off into the next stage of our network ready for service, adoption of our unique route will only continue to grow. Et maintenant, Philippe, à toi pour le mot de la fin.
Merci, Monsieur Vincent Gatineau. To everybody, it's been a very, very rich event, and I hope you enjoyed the show. I'd like to thank all of the participants, as well as the employees and marketing partners who contributed to this event. I must say, in such period, making this event possible is by itself a challenge. So thank you very much. And I want to remind everyone that next month our cable is ready for service, and believe me, we're ready to take your call and serve you. Thank you very much.
Well, this has been a brilliant session. Thank you to everyone for your contribution. I, for one, am very keen to observe the growing traffic demands across and between these two continents over the coming years. Well, sadly, that's all we've got time for, but thank you to everyone who joined us today. The video will be available to watch on demand, and you'll shortly be receiving an email from one of our team. Stay tuned for EllaLink Season 2, where you'll be hearing more insights from our industry-leading partners. Thanks again, and goodbye.
Hi, and welcome to our live question and answer session. I'm joined by the team, and we're looking forward to answering some of your questions. We've received plenty already, but please send us more via the link at the bottom of the screen. So the first one, over to you, Vincent. There's been a few questions around this subject, so I've generalized the question. How does EllaLink plan to commercialize its services?
Thanks, Lindsay. Well, indeed, I will try to make a comprehensive answer on all the questions we had on the topic. Basically, EllaLink is a carrier of carrier, and our expertise is to connect data center to data center from Europe to Latin America. So we have point of presence in Interaction in Madrid, within Equinix in Madrid and Lisbon, and in the other side of the ocean, we'll be present in Fortaleza and in Rio and São Paulo, and in the southern part of Brazil, we'll be there in Equinix. So we have points of presence in each of these locations. Our work is to connect from point to point this data center at the transport layer. So we are selling capacity from 1 giga to 100 giga or multiples of 100 giga. And then on top of that, we are as well having an offer for spectrum connectivity, which is either multiples of equivalent of 100 gigas and otherwise like virtual fibers. So this is really our offer. We are selling, of course, this is a very standardized product in the market, either on a lease or on a IRU model.
Thanks, Vincent. And that sort of leads me quite nicely to a question to Jeff. Why do you think there's such a big interest in spectrum on submarine cable systems at the moment?
Yeah, it's interesting because I see spectrum sharing really as a natural consequence of the trend of open cables that's happened, I don't know, maybe over the last 10 years. So open cables, just to explain, originally a company that deployed cables would buy everything from the wet plant vendor. And when coherent technology came along, it became very apparent that wet plant vendors weren't really keeping up with coherent transponder performance. So it gave us an opportunity for terrestrial transponder developers to enter the subsea market. And that trend highlighted the fact that it enabled innovation. So you could choose the best of breed transponder regardless of who supplied your wet plant. So that was the move to open cables. The next step is to say, well, why not share the fiber as well? Because fiber capacity is quite large. So you need to just add a lot more granularity in services. So I think that's the key to triggering the need for spectrum sharing, is the fact that fiber granularity is so large, and now we have open cable systems. So hopefully that's answered the question.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Jeff. We've had a number of questions around the status of the future connections and the stub BU. So Philippe, perhaps you could talk a little bit more about the future plans for connectivity.
Okay, so day one, as we said during the event, we are going to be connecting Madeira Island and Cape Verde. We do have stub BU fronting the Canarias, Morocco, and Mauritania. And on these 3 BUs, we are working at this very moment commercially to capture the customers for that. So there is an active commercial activity, and we hope to come to the market with some good news in the coming months. And I think there was a question somewhere, someone asked if the branching unit were already there. The answer is yes, they have to be there. Technically speaking, it's rather a difficult and a very unusual event to insert a branching unit after the cable is actually laid. In fact, I'm not aware of any occurrence. So you have to make a conscious decision at the moment you build the cable to insert or not branching units. And we've always said that connectivity was very important to EllaLink cable. It's been clear from the beginning, from a business model perspective, and this is the reason why we inserted so many BUs. We also have a branching unit directed towards French Guiana, and we are actively working with the European community and the French government to make sure this 2,000-kilometer branch will be built in the future. It's connecting, for those that are maybe I've forgotten, that it's French Guiana hosts the space launch for Europe, the ESA. So it's quite a strategic place. And we also have a branching unit fronting towards Sao Paulo that is basically ready to support a 4,000 extension of the cable. And here, I think, just to avoid any confusion, because I saw also a question, that extension does not mean we are not reaching Sao Paulo day one and Rio de Janeiro. We are going to be there day one meaning in the coming months. We're going to have point of presence in Sao Paulo and in Rio de Janeiro. That extension is something different, serves different means and different markets, but I think we'll have other occasion to come back to that.
Thanks, Philippe. That's nice and clear. So one for Diego. What are the key factors you use when selecting a landing site?
Yeah, that's a good question, Lindsay. Well, many elements need to be considered, but I think we will organize this around 3 key factors. The first one will be the short-end quality. That is how easy it is to land the cable in the selected location and how secure will it stay after it has been installed. Okay. Then the permitting ecosystem in the landing area. And finally, the supporting infrastructure, that is the existence of backhaul fibers and power availability, because as you know, nowadays, submarine cables do not end at the beach. So we have to make sure that we can connect to data centers. That is where customers are waiting for us, right? So and this has to be done in an efficient and secure manner.
Thanks, Diego. And sort of leading on from that, Vincent, do you see new cable systems being drawn to Sines because of EllaLink's presence there? And how will new systems benefit from EllaLink's presence in Sines?
Well, first of all, I would say that our cable itself is having sufficient BUs to connect even more countries back to Sines. First of all, I mean, before building new cables, our cable is already designed so that we can build these branches and new connectivity towards Sines, especially I was saying, Philippe, towards West Africa, where we can connect Morocco, Mauritania, and closer on the Canary Islands. Then what we've built in Sines is a very modular platform to welcome these cables. We've built our own station, which is adaptable to new landings, and on top of that, and even more important, we have built an HDD landing, which is a super robust protection for cable landings, and that can welcome up to 3 additional cables there.
Thanks, Vincent. That's great. Philippe, a question we had this morning and we've had again. How much does it cost to build a cable system such as EllaLink?
I'll try to make exactly the same answer. Okay, so it's less than 150 million euros altogether. Of course, the subsea segment is representing 2/3 of that, more or less, and the rest is spent around the cable landing stations, the SLT equipment, the terrestrial backhaul, which is a big and important aspect, and of course all the OPEX that needs to be spent for the team and the consultant and everybody else that make this thing happen. So all in all, less than 150 million. That's more or less the cost of any system in the Northern Atlantic, I believe. That should not change very much. And of course, in itself, it is a challenge. It's a higher challenge for EllaLink. There is a huge amount of traffic in North Atlantic, so somehow it's easier to generate sales for EllaLink. It remains for the moment a niche market. Okay, I hope it's not going to stay like this, but it is what it is at this moment, and we do have to provide a return on investment for that 150 million euros on the route, which is small at this moment. But there is no doubt in our mind that with the connectivity we're bringing to the table, with the cut of latency, we're going to attract more and more customers, and more business cases will be built around that EllaLink cable.
Thanks, Philippe. So we've just got time for one more question. It's quite a topical one, given the news at the moment. So Vincent, the data protection landscape is changing a lot in Brazil at the moment. How do you see EllaLink's users benefiting from the changes and the improvements in data protection policy in Brazil?
Well, I mean, there is various aspects of concern in security when you are talking about transmission. First one is to have the most direct between two persons to avoid that there is a third party that could be listening what you are saying. So first of all, I would say that being a direct point-to-point connection without stopping in the way is the best way to secure your traffic. Then what we are seeing currently is that Brazil is tending to adopt a very similar laws around data protection that we have in Europe, like all the RGDP set of law. And having these similar laws would actually encourage the data exchanges, so that actually you are keeping the same environment, the same ecosystem in terms of laws. In the contrary, what we have seen like in some other countries where the data privacy are not ensured, we will have two territories where the set of laws are very similar, and that would be very helpful in terms of hosting of data and access of contents.
Thanks, Vincent. And I believe EllaLink are preparing a white paper on this interesting topic at the moment.
Yes, indeed. Coming soon.
Good. Well, thank you, everyone. That's all we've got time for. I'd really like to thank our audience for participating today. The session will be available to download after the program ends. You'll be hearing from one of our teams soon. Please stay tuned for EllaLeaks Season 2, where you'll be hearing more from our industry-leading partners. So stay safe and goodbye.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.